Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and before I dive into the topic that I have for us this week, I would like to quickly say if you'd like to know one or two things about this community, you can check it out on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. If you also would like to reach out, give a suggestion, or get a weekly article from this community, you can sign up with your email on the website and you will able to receive the article that we push out every week, and each of these topics that we present in the podcast, we also have a write-up for them on the website. So please, if you like to receive this article before the podcast, you can also sign up on the website. So once again, the website is www.lifeforlivingwell.com. And let's dive into the topic we have this week. This week, the topic I'm looking at is what I call how to develop wisdom. How do we develop wisdom? As we normally do is to take one or two individual and build our topic around them. So this week I'll be taking from one of the Chinese great philosopher and wise man is Confucius. So he put it this way: I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. That's what Confucius put it. It's a very deep word. So unless you have the time to meditate, reflecting on that, and try to understand what Confucius is trying to do, that sometimes we talk a lot, and our society today is full of people with so many different opinions, and we hear a lot. And what happens is that whatever we hear doesn't hold the water for long, it disappears. And the only way we begin to see more changes in our life is when we actually see what we mean by experience, experience it, and then we will remember it. And also and that also go with the third sentence of that quotation, say I do and I understand. So when you actually take action, when you actually involve in things, you able to acquire the understanding that are required to do it. You cannot know how to fix a car by just reading how to fix a car in the book. You still have to implement those steps that you read, and the more you try to get around it and using your own judgment, able to diagnose things, able to fix it, it builds your confidence, it builds your understanding, and that it comes. So as we have it, the topic that we'll be looking at today is what I call how to develop wisdom. So it may evoke a sense of discomfort. Why is that? Because wisdom is not something that can be taught, and nor is it guaranteed to come with age. It's not because you are older or you have a lot of white hair, suddenly you become the wisest person. Sometimes if you are foolish in your teenage time, your adult time, and you are not working yourself, you are not done anything to transform that mindset of yours that puts you in that position and the decision, even if you have a great year, you will still remain foolish. So wise people review themselves in various ways. So these are the ways that are going to be able to capture with this message this week. Often in the connection with the passage of time. But wisdom goes beyond the knowledge that you can acquire through learning, reading, or mentoring. So today in our society, there is no doubt that countless individuals are wise due to their judgment, how they make a decision, and the way they carry themselves. But have you ever seen individuals in their prime years struggling to differentiate between what is right or what is wrong. And mostly their decision is always be driven by short-term gains, self-interest, and mostly fear. So before we dive down and discuss wisdom, we firstly need to establish a common understanding of what is it and the benefit it brings both to us and to the wider community. So doing a quick Google search for this particular topic in the week, there's countless of many definitions that come that define wisdom with different way. But the most straightforward one I find define wisdom as the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. The quality of being wise. I agree to this particular definition of wisdom. So why this definition emphasizes the quality of being wise, it says little about how wisdom can be developed. So, and that is the reason why these messages are being put together for this week. That how do we develop wisdom? No, we know what the wisdom look like. We know how wisdom smell. We understand what the trait and character of a wise person. But how do we develop it? How do we cultivate the process of being wise? So if you are looking for a step-by-step guide on how to cultivate wisdom, you won't find it here. You will not find it in this podcast today. But instead, this podcast serves as a signpost toward ancient practices for developing wisdom. It is easy to mistake someone who possesses vast amount of knowledge from years of practice, study, apprentices as a wise. Because we sometimes think that amount of information someone can hold in their brain, in their mind, thinking like it also means that they are wise. We are far from the truth. So assuming that such individuals are wise is where we often go wrong. Wisdom follows a different path. It typically evolves over time through reflective experiences and ability to integrate functional feedback into sober reflection. Living in this manner can be difficult in a world that is increasingly dominated by sensationalism and short-term focus. So to acquire the temperament that required to develop or allow wisdom to evolve is actually more difficult these days because the world that we are living right now is more driven by sensation and also short-term focus. So it requires a lot of effort from the individual that really want to cultivate developing wisdom to also embrace ability to disconnect themselves from mainstream, which is really hard things to do. So I will close this article or this message with the word of Confucius. How do we develop wisdom? So Confucius stated that you can actually acquire wisdom by 3 methods. We may learn wisdom first by reflection. Confucius argued that if you develop your wisdom by using reflection, which is including awareness of your action, your thoughts, your feelings, he said is the most noblest thing noblest process or step or approach to develop wisdom. Second, he also argued that we can develop wisdom through imitation. So in this case, you have a mentor or you have someone that their life, how they live their life really influence you. You could begin to take the step they are taking by becoming a student of the process. And as a result, you may be able to develop wisdom. And Confucius said, developing wisdom this way is the easiest. And the third, it said, you can also decide that the first two is not for you, reflection or through imitation. You might want to experience it by yourself. You might want to make a lot of mistakes, going through the life, through a lot of challenges and pains. And you didn't want to read, you didn't want to listen, you didn't want to have a coach, you didn't want to question how you're doing things. You just want to go through the life and experience it by yourself. So he said, is the bitterest process of developing wisdom. So it's now left to you to choose which of the process will be more suitable for you and more adequate for you to acquire wisdom. So in the next podcast, we will explore the concept of wisdom through reflection. So we will look at it more detailed and we will go through all these three processes. Confucius argued that you can develop wisdom. So we will start the next podcast is to look into how do you develop wisdom through reflection. So I hope this message helps someone. And if you'd like to know more or ask any question, please visit our website or check our out on the podcast on the YouTube as well. If you don't like or you don't have the time to listen to the podcast and you like to see the YouTube channel, please sign up to it as well. And you can just Google Life for Living Well and it will bring the channel page for you. So until we meet it again, please stay safe and have a wonderful week. Ciao.